Subir de peso. You can also use the verb subir when talking about your weight. Okay, so subir de peso, subir de peso. Peso can mean, just like the currency, peso, or it can also mean weight. How much do you weigh, right? So it's interesting. It's interesting that this phrase is not talking about money or currencies. We're talking about weight. So this means to gain weight. And this is another common use of the verb subir, subir, subir de peso, to gain weight. Now, let's look at some examples using this particular phrase. He subido de peso durante las vacaciones. He subido de peso durante las vacaciones. This means I have gained weight during the holidays. It happens. It's a common thing, honestly. I think everyone can relate. So, he subido de peso durante las vacaciones. Let's break this down. Remember, the H sound in Spanish is mute, so ignore it. There's no sound. The letter H doesn't have a sound. He subido de peso. So this phrase right here, he subido de peso, means I have gained weight. Okay? He means I have. Subido, gained. De peso, weight. So remember to include de. Subir de. Okay? So I don't know if you've noticed this, but when we were talking about the other meanings, subir and de are commonly used. De is almost always there. And the reason why is because it works well with the verb subir. Subir de. Also subir a, but that's different. We talked about that already. But when talking about weight, you need to use de. Subir de peso. Okay? Details. Am I right? So, let's continue. Durante means during. Las, the. Vacaciones can mean holidays, of course. Holidays. But also it can mean vacation. And this is very interesting because you don't say vacations, right? There's no plural in English, I believe. But vacaciones can mean vacations, can mean vacation. It can also mean holidays. Okay? So it refers to just a period of time when people take a break, essentially. So just remember that vacaciones has quite a few meanings. Vacation, holidays, and it looks plural, but it can mean vacation. Some people also say vacación, just vacación without an S. But that's also something that can happen. So, vacación, remember the accent mark on top of the letter O. Obviously, you need la vacación, right? It's singular. But vacación can mean vacation. It can also mean, holiday. So, vacación, vacaciones, same thing, honestly. It's the same thing. Same thing. You can say either one, vacación, vacaciones. It can be more common to say vacaciones, okay, more than vacation, but both are used, all the time. Excellent. So remember, we have another example. I was going to say, remember, subir de peso means to gain weight, but we have another example. Let me show you the second example. The second example is, mi perro subió de peso porque come mucho. Mi perro subió de peso porque come mucho. This means my dog gained weight because he eats a lot. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This happens too. Mi perro means my dog. Subió de peso. We have what we're learning right now, right here. Subió de peso, gained weight. Porque means because. If you this is interesting. This is interesting because if you have porque as two words and then we need an accent mark, and that is also in a question, that means why. ¿Por qué? Why? But if it's one word like this, that means because. Okay, so remember that. It's an important thing. ¿Por qué? Why? Not why, because. What am I saying? Why is what did I do to my brush here? Anyways, ¿por qué? I don't know why it's not as red as before, but let's continue. Because come. Oh, I know why. Come, there you go. Come means he eats. You don't need to say él come. If you want to be specific, you can say él come, but you can just say come because you already said perro here, my dog, right? Mi perro. So you don't have to say él come mucho, okay? So you can just say come. Come means he eats. Mucho means a lot. It can mean much, okay? And it can also mean, in some situations, it can mean many, but that's different. You need to probably add an S to muchos. So, for example, I can say muchos autos, many cars, okay? But, it has to be muchos autos, many cars. When you say mucho, just like that, it can mean much or a lot. I can say te quiero mucho or te amo mucho, and that means I love you so much. So similar to so much, a lot. So that's quite interesting. Mucho has some meanings. Okay, remember, subir de peso means to gain weight. Subí de peso, I gained weight. Or no subí de peso, I didn't gain weight. Okay, so this is a very common phrase that uses the verb subir.